Welcome to another edition of Cranky Gun Reviews. I wanted to drop in here and show you the newest addition to my arsenal, if you can call it an arsenal. I don't really know what defines an arsenal. I guess everybody has a different definition. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, Boomer, don't be a FUD with your single shot shotguns.
What the hell is even that?
But if you look at the FUD gun scale, you can see that I have a good selection of extremely FUD and Boogaloo time guns, therefore I land smack dab in the middle, and I'm neither a boomer, a FUD, or a zoomer, or whatever you hip guys call all the tactical stuff. This is yet another addition to my New England Firearms and my Harrington and Richardson single shot collection, and this one struck my fancy for a few different reasons. It had a rubber recoil pad, which most of these only have a hard plastic or hard rubber recoil pad that doesn't have any squish in it. 2, this has a 3.5-inch magnum chamber, which is pretty stinking cool, and thus why you need that squishy rubber butt pad. C, I knew that it had a screw-in choke, which was a little bit unique on these. I've never seen a screw-in choke on one of the single shot of the older model. And 4, it had painted black wood, which I thought was a little bit odd at first, and I thought it was something that some Bubba did in his backyard. I prefer to get guns that aren't messed with so I can Bubba them up myself. But as I started searching the interwebs to try to find out what this actually was, I found some pretty interesting stuff on it. And it turns out that this was actually a factory model that New England Firearms offered all the way up into the mid-2000s. So let's get into it. In my searches on the interwebs, I found this 2004 New England Firearms catalog. And I really like looking at these old catalogs because it gives you a snapshot in time on what was popular at that specific point in time. If you scroll down several pages, you come to the page that says Shotguns Pardner Turkey. And here I find the first image of what my shotgun actually is. They offered it in a 2012 or 10 gauge shotguns. I have the 12 gauge model. Has a 24-inch barrel with a screw-in choke. The screw-in choke is an extra full screw-in choke, and I believe it's the Mossberg or Windchoke Invector style choke. So the good thing about that is, knowing that I'm not going to use that ultra full choke for everything I do, I know that I'll end up getting a couple of different chokes. I'll probably get an improved cylinder, maybe a skeet choke, and a couple various other ones. You can see here the details on what the shotgun is. Again, it was offered in a 10 or a 12 gauge with the black wood, 24-inch barrel, 3.5-inch chamber, bead front sight, extra full screw-in choke, 40-inch overall length, 14.25-inch length of pull. Now, I was trying to get a good shot down the barrel here. It's really tough to do. Right after the chamber, there was a section of the barrel that looked like it was full of lead, but upon scrubbing the bore for about a half an hour, I realized that it's just the machining marks inside the barrel at the end of the 3.5-inch chamber. It's pretty neat that it has this Hunt Safely sticker on there. I'm not sure if that was something that was added or something that came from the factory, but I thought it was pretty neat. Here you can see me unscrewing that extra full choke, and when I was looking down it, I could see that there was rifling marks in it, so somebody had shot a rifled slug out of this. At first I looked very carefully over this choke to try to find a marking as to what it was because I couldn't tell, and the only thing I saw was this little stamped mark in it. It's either the letter D or it's just a straight line, which didn't mean anything to me, but again, later on I found the catalog and I was able to find out that it had an extra full turkey choke. As I've already mentioned a few times, this does have a 3.5-inch magnum chamber. And I've said it before, I'm not shy of recoil. I don't mind a gun that punches you a little bit, but in reality, it's not something that I really look for, and it's something that can be awfully punishing.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
And when I was looking over this gun and cleaning it, I noticed that there was a rattling noise that was in the stock, and I was trying to figure out exactly what that was. And after finding that 2004 model year catalog online, I was able to do a little digging and find out what that was. The catalog states that on the matte black or camo finished hardwood stock, it incorporates a counterweight system to soften recoil. But what is that counterweight system exactly, and why was it rattling around in my shotgun? So I took the butt plate off and looked at it, and there's a metal rod that they literally jam in the hole in the butt stock and then hold in place with a little tiny wood screw. I did a magnet test on it, and it turns out that it's at least mostly made of steel, some type of steel anyway, and I weighed it. It weighs 1.33 pounds. I don't know exactly how much this little counterweight is going to do to mitigate recoil, but it will do something, as well as this rubber pad that's on the buttstock. So at any rate, I got kind of a unique shotgun. This is another one of those that I just happen to be in the right place at the right time. I frequent my Cabela's every couple of weeks, and often they've been getting a lot of single shot shotguns in of late. They've had some 410s, a lot of 20s, a lot of 12s, some 10s, and some 16s. But this is the first 12 gauge that I actually wanted to purchase, and it was just because it's kind of unique. Originally, I thought I was going to strip all the paint off the wood and refinish it, but now that I know it's a factory finish, I think I'm going to leave it in its nice black battle-scarred format. Thanks again for watching.